What's going on, guys? Thanks for tuning into the Local Crown podcast, where we're going to teach you how to wage war on your competition and earn your local crown, also known as the top spot on Google. Having interviewed a lot of entrepreneurs, what have you found to be some of the qualities that really lead to some of the most successful people?
Man, great question. It ended up being the title of my show, the Mind Body Business Show. I actually began focusing on just successful people, which I should have done decades earlier, but I'm not going to look back and say I woulda, coulda, shoulda. I got a lot of life experience in my entire journey, so it all works out well. But there were three pillars of success that I found, these patterns that kept bubbling up to the top as I talked to each individual, as I learned from them, as I read their books. And mine being mindset. They all have a super powerful yet flexible mindset, because one of the key ingredients of being a successful entrepreneur is that of flexibility and the ability to change on a dime and find a solution for another issue or a different solution for the same issue. And then body, they all take care of their bodies nutritionally and physically. They ingest something good for them, and they also exercise on a regular basis. The mind and body are a team, I always say, but more importantly, the mind and body are your team. And imagine any team out there, let's say basketball, there's 5 people on the court at a time. One of those team members is not prepared. He didn't do his endurance training. He's gasping for air. Well, because of one team member not giving it his all and operating at peak performance, the entire team as a whole suffers. And so mind and body, to me, are the baseline of everything, success or otherwise, that you have in your life right now. It all starts really with this, though, because without this, the body isn't going to happen. You're not going to eat right. You're not going to exercise on a regular basis unless your mind is set straight. So the foundation to all success is right up here in your beautiful noggins. And then business is multifaceted. I mean, there's sales, marketing, team building, scaling, systematizing, all of this, leadership. And the cool thing is that last one is because there's many more than I just mentioned. Imagine trying to master every skill set needed to build a successful business and then to scale it and to keep growing it. It would take a lifetime, maybe more, for one individual to master all of those. If you just master leadership, well, then you have the skill needed to bring in those that have the skill sets that you don't and manage them. And then that way you can achieve success. That's what I've learned from my guest experts who have come on.
That's awesome, man. So what are the most important traits of a leader then, since we're there?
Wow. There's a great book. I think it's Leaders Eat Last. There are so many. I would read books to find out what a great trait of a leader is for yourself. Everyone has a different personality. For me, it is about positive reinforcement, not negative. I've seen so many, including coaches, even of kids, where they would yell at them to try to get the most out of them. And there are times for discipline, so don't get me wrong on that. However, it's very rare if you have set the table correctly, if you set expectations up front. So being a great communicator and being very clear on what you're asking someone to do is a great attribute of a great leader. And then having flexibility and not micromanaging every single thing they do. As an example, if I want an image, a graphic thumbnail generated, I say, here's my logo, here are my brand colors. I give them pictures and a few files, not much. I said, now use your own creativity. And I have yet to throw one back and say, I don't like it. And sometimes they're not exactly the way I would do it, but I think I'm out of my ego. So I'm thinking that's probably going to be better than anything I could have created or wanted to create anyway. And how's it been working for me? I always ask my question, if I did it, how did that work for me? Did I get a lot of engagement? Well, up to that point, no. So let somebody else do it, right? And so it's letting go. And I have this motto: you don't work for me, you work with me. I never say you work for me. And I have a philosophy about bringing them on and training them. And I train my people as if they're going to leave me. I train them to leave me, to leave my company. Give them enough resources to go out and fly on their own if they so desire. And when you do that, when you let go, you'll see productivity, you'll see happiness, you'll see engagement in your mission and purpose rise exponentially. And I've learned this directly from working with my apprentices for over 2 years. They're just phenomenal. And when you employ those strategies, in my humble opinion, that's when you get, it's not just about getting the great results, it's also working in harmony. It just makes your life better every day. You never dread getting up and speaking with employee X or apprentice Y, because the table has been set properly and they know the expectations, you know the expectations, you're there to support, lift, and help. And you're a team, not a dictator at the top who is an ogre cracking the whip down on his or her subjects.
Wow. That's powerful. And honestly, just becoming a good leader in a business really leads to a massive amount of customer retention as well, and really closing more deals. Because if you can lead people properly so they always know what's going on, they're going to be more confident. The prospects are going to be more confident. They're more likely to buy. Like, everybody just knows what's going on. There's a consistent message. So like, really, as a business owners, that's really our job, is to be the best leader we possibly can be for our company so that we can get the best results across the board.
Yeah, and one way to talk about all of that, put in encapsulated into one word, is culture. You build a certain business culture, and once you have a solid culture, that's why certain individuals and companies have such great followings. Like Apple, my gosh, people will stand in line or sleep overnight to get the next Apple, because the culture, it's about the messaging, not so much the products themselves. It's amazing how human beings act and react to things. And it really comes down to more the culture and the interaction and personal relationships that you can muster, more than the actual physical products or services that you deliver.
It's all about the experience, man. When people feel validated, when people feel like they resonate with you, when people feel secure and validated, honestly, that's the biggest thing. If you can make your prospect feel validated, they're going to feel safe doing business with you.
Yeah, and be a part of something, a movement, a community. Yeah, all of that, especially now, like you say, feeling, safe and secure. There's another word for all of this, is called certainty. You go in with a certainty that
yes,
if you are to be part of this or buy that product, buy that service, you have a high degree of certainty that you're going to be happy with the results before you even buy it.
Absolutely. Certainty is one of the most powerful things that you can instill just across anything, across every single part of your business.
Absolutely. Totally agree.
Thanks so much for tuning in. I hope you learned something. If you have questions, email us at info@thelocalcrown.com. And if you want to get featured in our publication, Inside the Empire, alongside John Lee Dumas, the entrepreneur on fire, Jayson Waller, the CEO of Power Home Solar, Sharon Lechter, Dan Caldwell, the man that started Tap Out, and the limitless man himself, Jim Kwik, for free, then head over to thelocalcrown.com/become a contributor.